What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel for a Q&A video. It's the first one of these I've ever done, so thank you very much initially for all you guys who sent in some questions on Twitter and on YouTube. I really do appreciate it. But the reason for the Q&A is we have hit 3,000 subscribers, and honestly, guys, I am so grateful. You don't even realize. It is fantastic to see that number get above like 1. If I get my girlfriend, my mum, other family members, fantastic. But to have over 3,000 of you now in this community on this channel is just absolutely ridiculous. I cannot thank you guys enough, honestly. The reason I wanted to do a Q&A, I opened this up. It could have been anything you could have asked me, be it FM related, about working at Bristol Rovers, anything content related, or just some stupid questions, or not stupid, some more playful questions, shall we say, that some of the guys have sent in. So without any further ado, let's get into it and let's take a look at question number 1. So the first question we have is from 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, aka 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and he asks, what tips can you give when it comes to setting up your scouting assignments? Is it based on the formation you're running or just position based? Very interesting question, and as I always say, thank you very much for your comment, your question. I can always rely on you to give a comment on a video or anything like that, so personal shout out to you, mate. Thank you very much. Very interesting question though, and I think ultimately for me it comes down to the formation. I heavily invest in a formation and try and find players who work as I need them to in that formation. So it's kind of a mixture of both. It is formation based, but it is also position based. It's very rare that I would go out there and find a player who is completely the wrong position, but a world-class player, like a world-class player, but that doesn't play in a position that I require. Like for instance, I don't use a defensive midfielder, and if I find a like world-class defensive midfielder, I don't know if I would sign him. Obviously you need to get the use out of the players. You need to make sure that they are playing in your system so that you keep the squad dynamic high. Obviously that's something that I've banged on about countless times. But in terms of actually going out and scouting assignments, I'm not really the best person to deal with that. I know Zealand's done a couple of incredible videos about that. I do a lot of manual scouting, so I go to individual clubs and take a look at things because I don't trust scouts. I value having good staff, but I don't trust having the scouts in place that will do a good job. So I kind of do it all myself. What you can do though is there's a little feature that I only discovered not too long ago, that you can view things instead of the cards as a list. I'll flash it up on the screen now so you guys can see what I'm talking about. You can do that, and it keeps all of your scouting assignments in order, and you can do it via recommendation, sort them via recommendation, and take a look at them that way. That has saved me some time and could be a tip that I could recommend to you guys. Next up we have 𝘼𝙗𝙤𝙪, and his question is, what were the best and worst moments of working at Bristol Rovers? Thank you very much, Ethan. Ethan, I'm sure you guys know, is one of the mods in my Discord channel. He is awesome, so I'm sure you've seen him popping up in that Discord channel, which you can join. Links down below. Ethan, yeah, his question about Bristol Rovers, my best and worst moments. For me, I'm going to focus on the positives. The best moments for me were obviously the 2 promotions that Rovers did whilst I was there. Winning at Wembley in the conference playoff final on penalties was absolutely fantastic. When Lee Mansell slotted that final penalty, honestly, guys, the reaction and the fan excitement was just ridiculous. So that, and then the following season, obviously getting promoted out of League 2 into League 1 on the final day of the season, you know, everyone being on the pitch, the flares going off, but actually the result hadn't been decided. And when that did go, when that result did come through, it was fantastic. That night out as well, unreal, absolutely unreal. Next up we have FM Stinger. Now Stinger, I know you asked me this question on YouTube, but I've only got a graphic for Twitter, so I put it in this little style here, and he says, what would swim faster, a boy born with fins or a shark with legs? Now I have to say this, as a former swimmer, I swam at a decent level. As a former swimmer, I would 100% have to say a boy born with fins. Fins are amazing, makes a massive difference. You strap them on your feet and you go so much quicker. A shark with legs ruins it, in my opinion. Short answer. Love the question though. It seems like a very DM kind of question to ask, and I love it. Now we have Vaughn, who is asking a two-parter. First of all, he asks, am I a true OG or not? And question number 2, what do you think towards the disgrace of the racism towards Saka, Sancho and Rashford? First and foremost, Vaughn, yes you are, definitely, especially on the Twitch channel. Links to that are in the description again as well. Vaughn, or Atlas Gaming, is definitely one of the OGs on the channel. He's always there in the streams when I do stream. I know I've been quite poor at that recently, but he's always there, always in the chat, always giving his opinions and talking through everything. So thank you very much for that, Vaughn. I do appreciate it. And as for question number 2, I think so much has been discussed around the racism that Saka, Sancho and Rashford received after their penalty shootout misses at the Euros. It's honestly just disgusting. There's no real way that I can sort of articulate that in a different way than it's already been done. But honestly, just deplorable, just really shouldn't be happening in 2021. And I hope that it doesn't linger too long. Obviously, they've seen fan protests and stuff that have, like the stuff that they did over the memorial of the painting of Rashford in Manchester, sticking all the well wishes over the racist stuff is fantastic, and I hope it will continue. Not that it was racism, but in 1998, when Beckham got sent off, they were hanging. I think it was the first game of the season at West Ham. There was like a Guy Fawkesy sort of thing in a Manchester United shirt with Beckham on the back, and they were hanging him out. I know it's not racist, but that's just how ridiculous fans can get in this country when you do something that stops England winning. They did that to Beckham in 1998, and I think ultimately these guys can bounce back and do even better for the country next season. I have to laugh at this one. We have Ander Grimwood, who says, will you bick your head? He's been asking me this for a long period of time, since I went with the initial lockdown trim. And Ander, the short answer is no, I never will. I did respond to his tweet and said maybe when we get to 10k. He's been gagging for me to bick my head, and I've not done it yet, and I don't think I will. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of the lockdown trim? Do you reckon I should go for the completely shaved head? I don't think I have a bad head for it, but still not fully convinced. Whilst I've still got a decent hairline, I think that should be what is dominating things on the top of my head at the moment. Next up, we have Spencer, or TaylorMade Gaming, who says, who is your favorite player you've ever managed on FM? Now, this is a very good question. I've done a fair few series this season. There's a few honorable mentions, of course. You know, Nils Bros currently at Hertha Berlin with me in the Pentagon save. Koa, the new gen that we had whilst we were at Guarani FC and then back at Santos, won us the Copa Libertadores earlier this season. And then there's plenty from my save that I did last year, started from the bottom where we were Bath City, and we got all the way up into the Champions League final. We won the Champions League final. But for me, there was a player that we had last year on last year's game called Valentin Vega. He was absolutely ridiculous. I'm going to chuck up a picture of him now. And as you can see, guys, his stats are absolutely ridiculous in terms of his in-games. But also, he managed to pick up 67 goals for us in 101 games. Bearing in mind, these games were high elite level Premier League matches and Champions League games. He was always there, could always rely on him for a goal, slotted a one-on-one like it was going out of fashion, and I just found he was just electric and just the one player that I wish I could have taken with me. Despite being a new gen, I wish I could have used him again in FM21 this year. Ethan's back with another question, and he asked, what are your plans for FM22? And to be perfectly honest, at the moment, I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking again about doing a Pentagon challenge. I've really enjoyed the Pentagon challenge. I've also enjoyed the Glory Hunter style thing over on Twitch as well. It gives you the right balance of using like the bottom tier players and then the elite tier players. It is really good contrast. I quite enjoy that. However, I have no firm plans as of yet. Obviously, you're going to have to stay tuned to the channel to find out what we are doing for FM22, but it's still a decent way away just yet. But I am currently leaning towards doing a second Pentagon challenge, even though this one's not quite over just yet. And finally, the last one is FM Custom Kits, who asks, where's the party? Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have anything like that scheduled, but imagine if we could actually being able to go and grab a beer together, mate. That'd be fantastic, wouldn't it? Unfortunately, there is no party. maybe at 5k, maybe at 10k, who knows? Maybe one day we will get there. But that is where I'm going to leave the Q&A for today. Thank you very much to anyone who did ask a question, has interacted with my content, liked a video, subscribed, anything. It honestly does mean the world to me, and I do really appreciate all the interactions with you guys. If there is something that you want to ask me that I've not answered, fire it down in the comment section below and I will get to it. But that's where I'm going to leave things for today, guys. So thank you very much finally for the 3,000 subscribers. It really does mean a lot. We move. If you have enjoyed today's video, the Q&A, don't forget to drop a like on it down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new around here and you're picking up this as your first video, which would be very weird, but I do appreciate it. Then that would be fantastic. But until next time, guys, take care of yourselves and I'll see you on another one very, very soon.